D-Man here. Just telling you, I
Yeah.
hope you like this video.
Subscribe,
So let's get in
share,
to the video.
comment,
Enjoy.
like.
Hey guys, D-Man here. Doing another anime movie review. I just did one on Colors. Even though I watched that one second, I watched this one first. I watched this a couple days ago because the English release of this came out a while ago. So I watched this like I don't know, about a week ago or so. So I might not remember everything, but I decided I'm gonna make a review on this anyways because I really like this show actually. This movie I really liked it, and yes, I did watch it in English because I prefer English dub. I'm sorry. On most things, I should say, not all things. Some things really suck in English dub, so I do go to the Japanese the Japanese version. But on most things, I do prefer the English dub. So this movie is called The Beast and the Boy, and I really like this movie. It's just really interesting premise, and it's a really interesting movie. So first off, non-spoilers, then spoilers. I don't know how old this movie is actually, but I do know it's fairly old, so most of you might have seen it. But anyways, this movie premise. Let's start with the premise because no spoilers. So the premise is a boy and animal people with humans. This boy goes to the animal realm because family, his parent dies. So he goes to the animal realm and he basically lives with the animals. And by the end, he has to fight another boy, and he finds a girl and falls in love with her. And something happens, and I can't get into it without spoiling it. But that's basically the premise. He meets an animal person. He goes there because he runs away from home because his family died. And he meets an animal person and runs away. And he lives there and trains underneath this animal person. Okay, so that's pretty much all I can say about it without spoiling it. Okay, so let's get into spoilers now. Spoiler alert, by the way. So, spoilers. So, basically, this boy right here meets this animal guy after his mother dies, and his mother's family says that his father's useless and stuff, so they don't want him to go live with his father because I guess his mother divorced him, and they all think his father's worthless, even though by the end of the movie we realize that they were exaggerating and his father actually did care about him. So doing all this, he runs away and he starts saying that he hates the world, he hates everybody because his father abandoned him. Well, he feels like his father abandoned him. His mother's dead, so he's just like, I hate everybody, I hate the world, I hate people. And then he meets this animal guy, and this animal guy is working to become a god, or not a god, sorry, a high priestess or something like that, or a high priest. I forgot what it was, but it's something like that. And this guy needs an apprentice to do that. So he takes this human, takes him with him, and starts training with him. Now, some problems arise because supposedly humans have darkness in them that animal people don't. And he's just like, well, I don't care if he does. He's still going to be my apprentice. And at the end, he actually turns out to be really strong, and he gets really strong. He learns how to fight with a sword. He learns how to fight properly in general. And he actually helps the animal guy out because this animal guy is actually really rough and rugged around the edges and stuff. So they help each other out, and it's kind of like this father son relationship. And it's really cool to see. And it has this little montage, and then the kid keeps on getting older and older and older again until he hits, I think it's like 18 or so. And it's about time for him and his rival to fight for the title of Emperor. So this is his rival, and this is his son, which is another human, but we don't find that out until later on. Even though you can kind of tell he's a human from the first time you see him, because he looks really human. compared to all the other animals that look semi-human, he looks super duper human. But he has super duper fighting skills and telekinesis powers because of the darkness inside of him. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So this guy and that guy are gonna fight. Uh, but this guy is kind of changing his mind because he's older. He meets this girl right here, and he's kind of changing his mind about staying there because he's like, listen, I just kind of got a girlfriend on the other side, and now I want to go live with her. And I found my dad, and he's not actually a fucking cunt like I thought he was. He's a really nice guy, and he wants to care for me and stuff. And he actually's like, "Oh, you're alive? I thought you were dead because I searched for you for so long because you ran away and everybody thought you were dead. But I searched for you, man. I searched and I searched and I searched." So at least we know that his father cared about him. So at the end, like a bunch of stuff happens, and at the end, him and his sensei right here get into a fight. He goes to the Earth world instead of the animal world. So he goes to the Earth world, he stays there, and he gets into a depression. So he gets into this big depression. The fight comes, and he's getting his ass kicked. Before the apprentice comes and says, "If you don't win, you're a bitch," pretty much. And he's just like, "I don't need your help." And then he gets this boost of confidence because his apprentice is back. Basically, the son he's been raising for so long is back, and he's just like, "Yeah, he's back. My son's back, pretty much, and now I can fight and win." And he does win, which upsets him because he's a human, and why he's so upset is because he's wondering why his tusk and stuff haven't grown in, and his dad and mom and stuff keep on lying to him. So he gets this dealt in him, and he turns evil after that. And so does he, by the way. He gets a lot down on him, and he almost turns evil. Wait, no, sorry. That's that's the guy that does turn evil. My bad. That was a different picture. But so does he. He gets a lot down and almost turns evil, but she saves him, and also he saves himself by looking at this band that she gives him. But yeah, this guy almost kills this guy. He almost kills him. And then he goes on a rampage trying to kill him. He goes to a human world and tries to kill him. And he finds his girlfriend right here. And they're like trying to fight against this guy. But they're not gonna win because this guy has magical powers now because he's like consumed by darkness. Humans' darkness can consume you in this world, and when it does, you can have like these awesome magical powers, which is pretty cool. But it's darkness powers, so it's bad. So they're fighting and stuff, and he's getting his ass kicked. Like he's getting his ass kicked, obviously, because he doesn't have any powers. Until this guy offers to be the hole in his soul because he has a hole in his soul, and he's just like, "Listen, I know he has a hole in his soul. I'm offering to be a hole in his soul, so I want to be reincarnated into a god, which is one of the things that these priest guys can do. They can incarnate themselves into gods." So he's like, "Listen, I want to be the sword in his soul." So he reincarnates into a sword, and then he becomes part of this kid's soul. This is it right here. See, he like goes into his chest, and it becomes his soul, and then he wins against the bad guy, and quit essentially saving him at the same time. And he was actually thinking about killing himself and the bad guy at the same time by absorbing the bad guy's evil and then stabbing himself. But instead, he's like, "No, I'll give you my soul." So at the end, he does die in a way, but he also lives in the kid at the same time. He lives in this guy, but he's also dead. He's dead, but he lives in this guy's memories and stuff, and everybody else's memories too. And it's just really just this heart-filled show, especially by the end and stuff. It's just really good show actually. It's really nice and good. And there's some conflict in there, and I really like this show. I really enjoy it. It's just a really nice show. And at the end, uh, this guy's dead, but he's in this guy, and this guy moves back to the human world and learns and goes to college, I assume, and probably marries her eventually. We don't really get the backstory to it, but we just assume that his life is good because he goes back to the human world, and the animals revere him as like a strong person. They're like, yeah, he's one of the strongest. So like all the animal people are just like, yeah, he's one of the strongest. And this guy right here helped raise him, so that's pretty cool. So we have these really touching moments in this, and it's actually really nice and stuff. So it's actually a really good movie. It's a really touching movie, and at the end it has a really good ending too. So I really enjoyed this movie, and I really enjoyed the characters in it and stuff. Um, I just enjoyed the hell out of this movie. It was awesome. And at the end, it just had this really nice ending. So, yeah. But yeah, that's what happened in this movie. Excuse me. At the end, they get together and stuff, and it's just this really nice stuff. He dies, but he sacrifices himself for his apprentice's sake, or basically his son's, uh, his surrogate son's sake, I guess. So he sacrifices himself for his son's sake. And at the end, he goes back to his human father, and they have a relationship, and it just all happens good. And then this monkey guy and this guy basically try to train the apprentices and be like, someday you might be as strong as him, and also him. But he's just like, but you have to work really hard. And at the end, he's revered in the animal kingdom, obviously, as I already said. So yeah, this movie is just awesome, really good. It has a really good just story and stuff. I recommend seeing this. If I were to rate this, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, 5 being average, I am gonna rate this. Let's see. I'm gonna have to rate this an 8. This movie is a definite watch. It is really nice, and it's just a really good time. It's a good movie, and there's some sad parts in there, and some drama parts, and some action parts too. So it's actually really cool. Uh, but yeah. Anyways, that's my review on The Beast and the Boy. I just got really interested by the title of it. So that's my review on it. It's just it's a good movie, man. Usually I would skip through these movies, but this was a good movie. I recommend watching it, and I hope you liked this review. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace.
Hey guys, D-Man here. Just remind you to subscribe by clicking here. It works on mobile.
Do subscribe.
Or click here to watch my last video. It also
Yes.
works on mobile.
Do it.
Just remember, subscribe and stuff.
Okay. Peace out, guys.
Alright, bye bye.